Africa Forward Summit may have brought together more than 30 heads of state and thousands of global delegates in Nairobi this week. But behind the high-profile speeches and diplomatic handshakes lies a growing political question of a project President William Ruto once promised would redefine Kenya's conference tourism industry. The summit was initially expected to be hosted at the new Bomas International Convention Complex, the multi-billion shilling mega project President William Ruto described as the future of conferencing in East and Central Africa. But with construction still incomplete a month after the promised deadline, the event was instead moved to the Kenyatta International Convention Center and the University of Nairobi. And now, as the president has revised the completion of the deadline to September this year, concerns are emerging of whether the ambitious promises surrounding the BICC are matching reality on the ground. NTV's Ashley Atieno with the details.
The promise was grand, bold and unmistakably ambitious. On December 11th, 2025, President William Ruto stood at the Kenyatta International Convention Center and unveiled plans for what he described as the future of conferencing in Kenya.
That by April next year, we will have built the largest conference facility in East and Central Africa.
It was a promise delivered with certainty, a promise that by April 2026, Nairobi would unveil a state-of-the-art convention complex capable of transforming Kenya into Africa's leading destination for global conferences and diplomatic summits. The project, named the Bomas International Convention Complex, or BICC, was designed as a modern multi-billion shilling facility capable of hosting thousands of delegates at once. A 5,000-seater main auditorium, a 3,500-seater secondary hall, a high-security presidential pavilion capable of hosting 30 heads of state simultaneously, luxury hotels, shopping facilities, banquet halls, and dozens of meeting rooms. For President Ruto, the project represented more than just a construction site. It was meant to signal a shift away from the KICC, a venue the president argued had become too small for modern global events.
I have given a timeline that we must begin to use that facility and begin to make money from that facility from May next year. Yes. Kwani mtafikiri tutafikisha trilioni moja hao? Si lazima tufanye mambo.
The government projected the cost of the mega project at between 31 and 42 billion shillings.
Si safari ya kujenga Bomas imeanza.
With thousands of workers deployed around the clock to fast-track construction.
Hapa tukubaliana ya kwamba itakamilika kabla ya mwezi wa 5 mwaka huu. Sawa sawa. Na hii ikimalizika, mimi nawapangia mahali ingine ya kwenda kufanya kazi. Hii kusukuma. Si tumekubaliana tutajenga mpaka hii Kenya ikae kama Singapore.
And among the first major tests for the facility was supposed to be the Africa Forward Summit 2026, a high-level gathering co-hosted by Kenya and France, bringing together more than 30 heads of state, global policy makers, international financial institutions, and thousands of business leaders and delegates. But when the summit finally opened in Nairobi this month, delegates arrived not at Bomas of Kenya, but at KICC and the University of Nairobi. Behind the scenes, the reason was becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Despite the earlier April deadline, the BICC remains incomplete, with reports indicating construction is only between 35 and 40% complete. The missed deadline has now forced a quiet but significant revision of timelines. And on May 11 this year, President Ruto acknowledged the delays.
In support and complement what the UN family is doing here, expanding conference facility, the government of Kenya is also building a conference facility to complement what you are building here in Bomas of Kenya, which will be ready in the coming months. maybe by September this year.
But as screens continue, towering over an unfinished site months after the original completion date, critics say the BICC is rapidly becoming another high-profile test of government credibility. Known for bold promises, the president once again faces growing scrutiny after the uncompleted BICC project forced a quiet shift in timelines, raising fresh questions about promise and delivery. Ashley Atieno, NTV.